Well, let's jump into the song, guys. I should probably go to bed, which is, again, one of those things that you figured out how to do during the crazy world that we live in, because it was recorded at home. It was produced at home. This song, I'm guessing, is just one of the big things that we can anticipate for 2021 in a full album with you guys. Can you talk about wanting to put this song together, deciding that, you know what, we're not going to wait, we're going to do it at home, and possibly maybe some treats for the album coming up here in this year?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. You know, the first couple months, we had been preparing since the beginning of the year, you know, for our tour. We were doing an arena tour. It was all sold out. We were like, you know, it was the highlight of our lives, bucket list. Like, we had worked forever for this, and we were working so hard, and then boom, all at once in March, the rug was swept out from under us, and it was like, what do we do? So like for 2 or 3 months, it was just like shell shock, doing nothing, quarantining, obviously, like everybody else, eyes glued to the TV, to the news, watching all the scary things happening in the world. And then there hit a point, you know, after we'd been locked down for so long, Shay and I were like, let's get together. Let's hang, man. We miss each other. And, you know, Shay came over the house and we sat down at my piano and just started. It felt good, honestly, to just sing together again, because we hadn't in a few months. And we started just singing through some stuff that we had in the can and just some ideas just for fun. And that song, I Should Probably Go to Bed, wasn't completed, but we were in Los Angeles in January, I think it was, for the Grammys, and we had a few free hours to write. So we went into the studio and we had like a verse and a chorus on that song, but we never figured out where it needed to go. We knew the hook was good. We knew it was going to be something, but it wasn't until like, you know, mid quarantine that it just happened organically. We were playing it on piano and singing it. We're like, oh, that's pretty good, man. I still remember all the words to that. First of all, that's a good sign if we can remember the words. And we were like, this is a vibe. Let's see what happens. And then we got through the chorus, and then Shay starts going off on these crazy vocals, and I'm like just killing it on the keys, like breaking the strings, hitting it so hard. And we were just really feeling the vibe. And it was like, all right, let's go upstairs. Let's record that right now. I have like the most makeshift DIY recording setup. That it's kind of how we do all our records. I mean, lean a mattress against the wall, like hold a pillow over your head. And that's what we did, man. And we played all the instruments on that record, and we had a lot of fun making it, man. It was just, with all this extra time on our hands, we could really like try some things, like, you know, do some adventurous sounds and just, you know, really explore. And man, it's been really a blessing in disguise in that respect. It's you know, giving us more time to focus on what matters, and that's the music. And man, we're really busting it hard right now, writing and recording, and there's lots of stuff to come this year. It's, you know, it's a crazy time out there, and it's, you know, it's definitely presented new challenges. It's like we can't get into the big studios where we would want to go and record an orchestra, or we would want to go record drums. So it's like, how do we shift? How do we pivot? How do we do that? And we were able to find that magic on I Should Probably Go to Bed, and we're trying to figure out ways to keep doing it, man, and keep churning out music for the fans. But, you know, it's interesting trying to figure out when you do have something. It's like we feel great about that song. We're super proud of it, and it's, you know, climbing up to the top of the radio chart right now, and we've yet to play it live. Like, it's so, you know, usually at this point when a song is top 5 on country radio, we've played it a million times for our fans, and we're feeling that gratification from the stage to the crowd, but we haven't done it yet. So it's like, man, do people like it? You know, and, you know, obviously we're feeling the love on social media and at radio, but it's, we really miss being able to do these songs live, man. So hopefully this one is a big anthem when we get back out there on the road.
It's a phenomenal tune, man. I mean, I remember the first time I heard it, and you just start with those pianos in the beginning. It's like, oh my God, like this song cuts through. And it's well, you know, it's true too, because I have 3 kids. My kids are 7, 6, and 2.5, and they know it so well that we've created our own bedtime song. And so my wife and I will sing it. We'll go, you should probably go to bed.
Love it.
Probably brush your teeth. They know it by heart now. That's how addicted we are to that song, man. It's so good. And, you know, again, it leads me to wonder, because I'm a big fan, what is coming in 2021? Are we looking at a full album, or are we doing the kind of new thing that everybody's doing, which is, you know, let's throw out some songs and see how much we can get out to our fans?
Well, first of all, after we finish our Kids Bop version of all of our songs, I feel like there's so many amazing stories like that. And I love that I have 2 kids myself, and Asher's about to be 4, and I have an 11-month-old, Ames. And I feel like we get those stories all the time of like people telling us they use that song to put their kids to bed with like an alternate version. It's so incredible. Yep. So I love that. I love that. So after we do the kids version of that album, of the last album, we'll get to our new album. But no, man, we're so stoked, man. I feel like we've, you know, for the first time really in a long time, or actually really ever, had truly the time to kind of sit back and not only, think about what we're going to do next, but also get to kind of reflect on, what the last, 8 years have looked like, in our career, and be able to truly appreciate, the moments and experiences that we've had, and really kind of let that sink in. Dan and I, we didn't really have, all these amazing things we've got to experience. When you're in the moment, we obviously, you try to take the time to appreciate what's going on, but until you really, we've had this time to really sit back and be like, man, like, look at what we've gotten to do in our career, and really, not taking that for granted. And, that's kind of easy to do when you're on the road and you're touring so much and you're always looking for the next thing and trying to, for our fans, we want to, we have that responsibility to be able to, bring our A game every single day. And, that doesn't leave a lot of room for really appreciating, what has, transpired already. And we've really been able to do that, man. And I feel like we've, gotten some of our best material and our best music that we've been writing lately, because we've actually had the time to make the music that we want to make, and not have to be rushed, and, feel like we're doing it in between tours, in between shows, which is oftentimes how a record gets put together, little piece by piece. And I feel like we've actually had the time to make the music that we want to make. And we're just so excited about the stuff we have, already in the can. And, we're kind of taking it slowly and being able to really put, something together that we're truly proud of. And, we're proud of all of our music, obviously not saying that we're not proud of our previous records, but, this is the first time we've truly been able to really think about it and kind of, put together something on our timeline, and not, try to put it together with the couple days that we're home. Like, all right, we got to hurry up and write a song today, and we've actually had the time, and Dan he's loving it, because he likes to take 6 months on a kick drum sound. So he's a mad scientist genius that makes us sound so good. But it's been amazing, man, to be able to do that, though. And we're very appreciative of that time, and try to just, not rush things, but also we know that our fans, are ready for new music, and, we've got a lot of stuff in the can that we're very proud of, and just very excited for 2021, man. And obviously for obvious reasons, hoping that it's better than last year, but I think that this is going to be a great time for music. Dan and I have talked about that through all of this craziness, on the other side of this. I think that there's going to be a lot of great music and a lot of great excitement, and re-excitement for music and for, the music industry as a whole. And, this has helped a lot of us get through it, just the music. Obviously touring went away for a while, but, at the core of it, it's the music, and that's the most important part. And it's helped a lot of us get through this. And I think a lot of great music has come out of it. So I think it's going to be a good 2021, and we got some good stuff coming.
It's funny. I agree with you 100%. And I keep telling my wife too, I'm like, if there is a silver lining among this, as far as the music world goes, it's that all the creative people like yourselves are not so incredibly busy doing 300 shows, you know what I mean? That they have the time to sit and actually put pen to paper and create. And so I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And you guys have only had maybe one song that wasn't a top 10, and that song should have been top 10. We won't go into that, but it should have been a top 10, dude. You've won every Grammy nomination, or every Grammy that you've been nominated for. Knock on wood, you got another one coming up. And, I can't help but think back to like 19 You and Me. And I think about you guys meeting at Dan's house party, and, he's got the sheets because there was no heat and all that. Is there a specific moment in your journey together that you look back at, you laugh at, and you're specifically proud of? And you guys kind of, over beers or coffee or whatever, you say, remember when we did this, and now we're doing this?
Man, there's so many. This is amazing, by the way. Like, dude, you're making us feel real good. This is awesome. It's great to talk to you. But yeah, there's so many things, man. So many milestones. Our relationship with country radio, our relationship with our fans. Just so many cool things have happened over the years. It's tough to pinpoint one, but we have amazing footage actually from our first radio tour, and we had a guy out, our buddy Pat, who I grew up with. Like, he literally filmed every second of the radio tour. And the ups and downs of that, man, it's just so fun to look back on it now with, like I said, all the relationships we built with country radio, all the people that have been in our corner since day one. It's funny looking back, like, at how green we were then, like walking into stations with an acoustic guitar and, basically just singing 19 You and Me for the first time. We didn't know any of these people, and all these people would become our close friends now and have supported us and gotten us where we are. And I think that era was just so cool, man. We were so wide-eyed. We hadn't met any other artists yet. We got a tour bus. I mean, we couldn't even believe it. You know, we'd torn in vans and cars and whatever for our whole lives. And our record label fronted a tour bus that we eventually had to pay for, you know, but it's, we got on a bus and man, we traveled around the country and sang for every radio station in America. And it changed our lives, man. So that's a moment we look back on, and it really set it ablaze, man. It was a special time and something we'll never take for granted.
So I want to read this quote for quote because I read this interview. I think it was with Taste of Country, but Shay said that he doesn't want his kids, to follow in the music business. Quote, "It's hard, man. Be smarter than I am." From the outside looking in, right? As a fan of country music, which I've been my entire life, you got beautiful houses, you got beautiful families, you got money, you got fame. Can you speak to what you mean by saying it's hard?
Oh man. I first of all, I was saying that kind of tongue in cheek. If my little boy wants to be a singer, which it's looking like he's probably going to want to, because I think he's going to be good. But no, I was kind of joking, but honestly, half not. You know, this kind of the whole world. You know, when you grow up, you know, wanting to be, you know, when you love to sing, you kind of grow up with this dream. And Dan and I both had this our entire lives, wanting to, you know, be a star. You know, you want to be out there, and you see the highlights. You know, you see the highlight reel, and that more than ever now. You know, we have Instagram, we have Twitter and Facebook, and you see the parts of people's lives that you want them to see. You know, you see the craziest parts. It's like, you know, these pictures with celebrities, and, you know, everybody does that now. You know, everyone is a celebrity in their mind, and they want to be an influencer. But, you know, what comes with that, I don't think anyone really knows when you truly do, you know, pursue this dream and have been as blessed as Dan and I to have success in it. You don't know what's to come with that, you know, and there's a lot of things that come with that you don't know. You know, we wouldn't trade it for a second, but, you know, it's a lot of hard work. You know, it's a lot of time away from your family. And, you know, it's a very strange feeling, you know, coming off of a stage, you know, playing for 18,000 people and then walking onto a bus by yourself and being by yourself for 14 hours, you know, as you drive to the next city. It's a very it's a very sobering feeling, and not being with your family and not being able to enjoy that. And obviously, you know, as much as we can, we have our families out, but there's a lot of moments, especially, you know, kind of on the come up, that are difficult, you know, and it's, there's a lot of sacrifices, and it's hard, man. And I think of how lucky we are, you know, that we've had the success that we have. And, you know, those kind of dark days, as I would say, I think radio tour is fun now, but it was tough then, man. You're doing, you know, 5 cities a day sometimes, and you're singing at 7 a.m, sometimes 5 a.m, and it's very tough. And we were through all the toughest points, you know, that we're past that a little bit, but it is, you know, pretty sobering to think about. There's so many artists that have not gotten to get past that level, and especially right now, who are going, you know, through such a tough time. And a lot of them that began to have a little bit of momentum, and then just everything was kind of pulled out from under them. And, you know, it's a tough time for the music industry right now, especially in the, you know, the touring world, and for artists who didn't quite get to that point where, you know, they could make it through something like this. You know, this was a devastating blow, and, you know, we're thankful that we've gotten to this point, and that we have had the success that we have, because there's a lot of people out there that would be, you know, they would die to be in our shoes. And, you know, we think about that all the time of, you know, we're lucky to get to do this, you know, but anytime we think, oh, this is so hard, this is really tough, I think about those people, you know, that they would do anything, you know, to be, you know, staying up those late nights and getting up those early mornings. And, you know, I think being in a duo has helped Dan and I really appreciate, you know, small moments like that, and never let each other kind of get complacent. Because you're able to kind of, you know, if one of us were tired, I remember being on radio tour being like, God, this sucks. Like, we got to sing at, you know, 5 a.m. This is horrible, you know? And I'm like, I'm singing like, you know, 6 octaves higher than most people. And so I'm like, you know, it's hard to sing high and in the morning. Yeah. And so I'm just like, man, I don't have a pretty voice in the morning. So this is tough. Dan would just like smack me like, dude, we look what we get to do. Look where we are. This radio station, we didn't even have to break in this time. You know, this is great. So, you know, kind of letting yourselves, you know, anytime one of us would get down, I'd always say the lows are not as low and the highs are higher. And, you know, we're just able to appreciate these moments together. And, but it's tough, man. All that to be said, it's tough. But, you know, I think that you're born for, you know, situations. And I think Dan and I were born to do this. And, you know, we're more than happy and willing to take on anything that it brings on, and very blessed to be able to do it.
It's funny to just kind of add to your point there. I remember a few years ago, it might have been, it was a while ago, I guess. It was James Otto, and I got the chance to have dinner with him and just kind of hang and talk. And he had just got started Loving You, which was, a big hit for him. And we were talking, and he brought up the fact, he's like, dude, I'm broke. I make like 30 grand a year. And I was like, what are you talking about? You got a hit song on the radio. And he's like, yeah, you got to pay all that stuff back. Like you were talking about the tour bus, you got to pay it back. He's like, it's not like I'm just rolling in money right now. It's like a loan. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, seriously, I think fans just assume the tour bus is it's yours, right? You have all the money, you bought it, you got an airplane, et cetera, et cetera. And it's, I don't know, I guess a harsher reality. It's fun and you're chasing your passion and all of that, but it's a business at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, man, it's tough, and it takes a while to make money or to be comfortable. It's, like you said, there are a lot of expenses. You gotta, it takes a lot of record sales or a lot of hits to recoup what it costs to promote a single. It's a very expensive thing, and that money gets split out a lot of ways: manager, agents, business manager. There's a lot. And then taxes, it's crazy. So you got to really work hard at it for a long time. And man, we're fortunate, we're blessed, we're able to pay our bills and put food on the table. But man, I think from the outside, it's like, that person is so rich. It's like, no, I wish I can't even get extra guac on my Chipotle.
All right, let's go to, you guys obviously have 10,000 Hours, Justin Bieber, Grammy nominated at this point, and it's a phenomenal song. Obviously, the success behind it is incredible. You guys are friends with a lot of famous people. Nick Jonas, Niall Horan, Justin Bieber. Who is the most famous contact in your phone right now? Or the contact we'd be most surprised to know you have in there?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think of somebody off the wall. Like we're buddies with Ed Sheeran. I don't know if it gets much more famous than Ed Sheeran. But he also doesn't have a phone, so that doesn't really technically count. He has an email. He emails. But I would say, as far as I'll go in a different world. We're friends with Jimmy Butler, plays for the Miami Heat. He's really done well. He's pretty famous. He's probably a lot more famous than we are, but I don't know. That's probably Dan Myers.
Those were the exact two I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, Justin Bieber's pretty famous too. I looked up the most famous people in the world, and Justin Bieber's in the top 10 list.
Wow.
It's a pretty good list.
Yeah. Who's the most followed person on Instagram is Cristiano Ronaldo, which is crazy. I mean, I know he's tremendously famous, but it's by 100 million followers.
Wow.
That's insane.
Let's play Back in the Day with Dan and Shay. I'm going to ask you guys about stuff back in the day, obviously. Number one, the hairstyle you most regret.
Probably the one I have right now. No, man, I had the one when I had it super short on the side and then they come over on top. I don't know. It was a little bit, I'm skeptical of it. It worked, but skeptical. There were some times where it got too weird on the top. I don't know. But I also did bleach the entire hair blonde. So that was, my wife didn't like that. She did not like that.
I forgot about that era, to be honest.
Good era. I liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty solid. My hair has not really changed much, but I'll tell you right now, I regret my overall image at this very moment because I haven't we haven't usually I don't really trim my beard. I wait until usually we're on the road and we have this amazing girl, Kristen, that does our hair and all this stuff. And whenever I'm not on the road, I don't really need to cut my hair. I'm not seeing anybody. So it's especially right now. So now that I haven't seen her in a while, I mean, my hair is absolutely out of control. It's not really my actual hair, but my beard. Luckily the last time I got it cut, my hair was short enough to where just now at this point, it's getting pretty unruly, but I've been wearing hats for months. So it hides it anyway. But my beard right now, dude, the other day, I mean, I went to brush my teeth and my beard hit my bicep. And I was like, okay, this is not okay. I mean, it is massive. It's a massive, and actually our day-to-day Lisa came over today and I thought she was going to pass out. She didn't even think that it was me. She was like, who are you? What have you done?
That's hilarious.
So yeah, my look right now is out of control. I have to shave my beard and I think I'm going tomorrow. So fingers crossed that I will not be a caveman any longer.
All right. Number two, what was your go-to song when you were a heartbroken teenager?
Oh man, I was an emo kid for sure. I loved emo. I don't know, maybe a Dashboard Confessional song, Hands Down or something like that, or The Best Deceptions. That was my vibe for sure.
I have two very specific songs because my oldest sister, Erica, her boyfriend Matt at the time when I was 16, or she was 16, and I believe that my sister, I was probably 13 or 14, something around that. He had made her a mixed CD, like a burnt CD.
Yeah,
and it had two really that became two of my favorite songs of all time, and it was it's Daniel Bedingfield, and it was I'm trying to think of the name of the song.
Was it Bad Day?
No, it was I don't want to run away, but I can't take it.
Yeah.
Understand. Is there any way that I could take your love? Is that song? I don't know what it's called, but it was like the saddest song of all time. And that song and These Days by Rascal Flatts. I used to cry. I was like 14 and I broke up with my girlfriend. And I mean, I thought I really had something special. And I remember like legitimately tearing up to those songs in my room, thinking that I was just like they'll never get better, never get better. So things got a lot better.
Those are the days, right?
Those were the days, though.
Rascal Flatts, I'm Moving On for me, and I would play it like on repeat over and over again.
Dude, that's a good one. Still holds up.
Let's see. Number 3. What was your first car?
I had an Acura. It was a hand-me-down. It was very old when I got it. And I still honestly would be driving it to this day. I'm so frugal. But I got in an accident in Nashville in one of the roundabouts, which don't make any sense. A guy didn't abide by the roundabout rules and just pulled right out, and the car was totaled. It wasn't great. But yeah, I would still be driving it. Now I have a hybrid Camry. So yeah, I really sprung for it.
Mine was a red GMC Sierra. That was my very first. I bought it from my dad. I thought that my sisters got he gave them cars when they turned 16. So I was all stoked. And he was like, oh, you've been saving up. And this was the summer before, my 16th birthday. He was like, you should probably start saving up now, for your truck. And I was like, I wasn't even going to say anything. I was just started saving up for my truck. I didn't want to be I didn't want to cry about it.
Sure.
But yeah,
absolutely.
I still hold that against my sisters, but I'm glad now that I bought my first truck. Made me feel like a man.
Absolutely. I got 2 more and then we'll get you guys out of here. Who was your first celebrity crush?
I think Natalie Portman for me. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Still the one, I think.
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain.
I don't know. I think honestly, Reese Witherspoon I had a pretty big crush on her. That's kind of the first one that comes to mind, but I was going to say that as well, Dan, because yeah, she was in some of my favorite movies. But yeah, I'll say Reese Witherspoon.
Love it. Love it. Good answers. Last one. What was your first kiss like?
Not great. Yeah.
Dan and I, or
yeah,
right.
Can't talk about it on air.
Right.
I think awkward, probably. Best way to describe it. Shay and I's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I would say. I mean, it was a peck. I don't even know if it was.
A full.
You watch. Kiss. You see movies. It was more of a mouth touch.
The smooch.
The smooch. Yeah.
The smooch.
Yeah.
Dan and Shay, thank you guys so much, man. I am genuinely a big fan. I was telling my wife earlier as I was prepping for the interview, I was like, man, I've been a fan since 19 You and Me. I really dig these guys and I was excited to talk to you. I'm excited to play I Should Probably Go to Bed and I can't wait for new music. Thank you guys so much for your time and early congrats. Without the jinx, I'll knock on wood for the Grammy win as well, guys.
Thank you, man. So good to talk to you. That was amazing. It made us feel good, dude. You were boosting us up. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Dude, thanks so much, man. Tell your family we said hey.
Will do.
All right, buddy.
Later, man.
Bye.
See you.
See you, bud.